Well, hello everyone. Hi, my Unlimited Wisdom family and community. I love and appreciate you very, very much. Hi, Shelley. Hi, Dustin, Deborah, Melody, Matthew, Sandy, my wife Terry, and the hostess with the mostest, Craig Jackman. And hi, Lisa Marie. I hope you can hear me. Um, yeah, the subject I want to talk about today, hi, Scott, is of course you guys know the exciting thing for me right now is that Posting Pilot is wide open to go out and get as many affiliates as we possibly can. And I just thought I would share with you guys a very unique state that I take or state of mind. I don't know if I said hello to Scott, but hi, Mary. Thanks for jumping on here. And one of the things that's always allowed me to be able to say as little as possible to as many people as I can, as fast as I can, is always in this concept that what I know that I'm marketing will put that individual in a better place. I'm always mentally all the time going, if that person would do what I do, I know that it can change everything about their life. Everything. So this puts me in a very unique situation because there's nobody that I won't reach out to. I don't overthink, I don't overthink my overthinking. I just know that I want to shout it from the rooftops and tell everyone. Now, for some of you, I think this is very, very important because a lot of people don't quite get how that state of mind comes about because there's a lot of people that they decide to do something like be an affiliate or even being a member of Posting Pilot, and they're doing it because they would like to make extra money. And I'm like saying, okay, that's a great point. That's a great thing to do. But I want to just ask you to look at your past and just very simply know that when you got involved in a company or you got involved in doing something, how well did you go out and tell the world about it? And how fast did you do it when you knew it was about you making money? And I find a lot of people that if it's all about making money, then what you do is you have a tendency of overthinking, you're overthinking even more. But you do something different. Now, what you're doing is you're looking for instant results. Hi, Star. Thanks for getting on here. And hi, Sarah. So that's when you see people immediately go out there and say, okay, I'm going to share it with the world. And now no one is clicking on my affiliate link. No one's buying. No one's getting connected. No one's doing this. No one's doing that. So then all of a sudden the thoughts get in the head is, wow, it seems like everything that I do doesn't work. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I'm doing, things not right. And what we do is we allow all these thoughts to get in our head, which just very, very simply puts us in a position again where we don't get the results. And then what we do is we give up. We totally give up. And so one of the things that I realize is that there's a lot of people out there when me and Matt first started talking about Posting Pilot. It really came about because of my son creating this thing called an H2O desk. And it was something that would help people that sell water filters find leads to sell these, commercial water systems to, right? And all of a sudden, it all came about with even Posting Pilot that how many little small businesses could this help? So you got a small mom and pop, anything, a plumbing, electricity, whatever, these. So it's one of the things that I know that the system's done for me. And, a lot of you can tell me if this is working for you or not. But the hardest thing to do is reach out to people. It's not easy to do because of your state of mind where you got to go, things that we used to do in the past. You reach out, you make a comment on someone's comment, then you get them to know, like, and trust you. You give a gift, You do all this stuff to get to a place where you can ask them to do you a huge personal favor. One of the uniquenesses that I'm seeing with Posting Pilot on my own personal walls, my own social media walls, is that there's so much more engagement. And so when people engage and make a comment and like one of my posts, now it gives me a leg up. Now, all of a sudden, if someone says, "Oh, this is really funny," or "Great shot, Robert," or whatever, and these are people that have never really posted on anything I've done it in a long, long time. Now, what it does is it takes a lot of steps away because now I can, click on them, make a reply to them, heart it up or whatever, but it's on my wall. And now what I can do is right there in the comment on my post, I can say, great to hear from you again, or I just left you a direct message. And now what you can do is immediately just go to the message board and just say, "Hey, listen, thank you very much for making a comment on my post. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. I hope everything is going great with you and your family." And I can start that exchange back and forth in a communication right away. And so, now it's all of a sudden, "Hey, do you know anyone that would like to get more engagement on their social media?" You know what I mean? It's like it's an instant solution to a problem. And so one of the things I think that is very, very important, again, if you can really wrap your mind around, this one question. And again, a lot of people have difficulty because they don't know how to express their personal story. But for some of you that are already using Posting Pilot, how many of you are getting more engagement from people that are following you? All right. So it's like everyone that I see that's using it, you can go to a number of posts before they did that one. And now I have quite a long wall of posts that I normally do, and then post with Posting Pilot. And you guys can see this huge, huge difference. Sarah, if you can tilt your camera, please. It's like when Sarah comes on, it always looks like she's like a submarine. You know what I mean? Where she's got, what is that called? But she's too gorgeous not to see her whole face. So thank you, Sarah. So that's one of the things I wanted you guys to really change in your thoughts is like, I want to help people get more engaged with the people that are following or people that are on there. And so we have said this before, and I think that's why for people that switched to Instagram or switched to, what was it called? Snap or whatever. Snapchat or then TikTok, right? Is I think a lot of people look at TikTok and they very simply go, well, for me to get a bunch of followers and people that are making comments, I'm not interested in doing a dance or doing practical jokes on my spouse. It's like all this stuff that you got to do to really get the video recognized. And so now when all of a sudden you're in a situation where, you can get people, because we all say, listen, don't worry about likes, don't worry about hearts, don't worry about comments, don't worry about shares. But now when people are posting stuff from Posting Pilot, how many of you are really, really feeling a huge difference when you share them? You know what I mean? And I just think I just think they're hilarious. You know what I mean? And so that's one of the things I really wanted to share with all of you, because there's something within the human being that when they're helping other people, they seem to go the extra mile. They seem to go the extra 2 or 3. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but there's been a lot of rumors going around about SpaceX going public. And someone said that there was 291 people that will become instant millionaires when SpaceX goes public. And the one thing that you can see about a bunch of people that would work for that company and also NVIDIA or companies like this is just the long haul of knowing that as they're participating, as the company's getting, bigger and bigger and bigger, that they had something to do with that. And so I know this is going to sound weird coming from me, but a lot of you might be able to change your whole attitude of doing this and really focusing if you just said, well, you know what? I'm going to focus on seeing how fast I can help Matthew make Posting Pilot just known all over social media. And see, and some of you would go, yeah, but Matt doesn't need my help. But if you realize that if you shift it that way, because one of the ways that I've done it is every person that I've ever been involved in, whether it was Roger Penske when I was working on cars or the mentors and the owners of companies, for the last 37 years, is I've always gotten a vision of what that owner wanted to create for them and the people they loved. And I would get caught up in that vision and I would help them make that happen. And I was 1000% okay helping them. Does that make sense to any of you? And I always notice that, people have a tendency of going, well, I want this for me. But you can immediately tell if you're in the right, what I would call path or flow or energy or vortex, whatever you want to call it, when you watch your actions on a day-to-day basis. So regardless of how great something gets and how I know it, Matt will never give up on making Posting Pilot better and better and better and better. And there's going to be people that are going to go right to the top and do whatever they want to with Posting Pilot, including earn income and help their company and do whatever. And then there's going to be a lot of people that are just going to be upset, frustrated, confused, constantly overthinking, wondering why things doesn't work. And they don't realize that they just keep bringing the same person to each opportunity. They think in their mind that they're different, but the way that they're acting toward the opportunity is the same. And so just let that help your mind a little bit. Because if you can switch it to thinking about, what we could do to help Matt with his company, what we can do to make sure that him and Hannah and Ezra are okay. It's like, even though it's my son, you guys have noticed that I've done this with every other owner that you guys knew I was a part of. So that's really all I wanted to share today. I just wanted the message to be very, very straightforward. Is again, like we've talked about in other videos, if what you're doing is not clicking for you, then how do you reframe it? How do you reframe it? I'll give you something simple because you guys don't realize that you reframe everything all day, every day. Because how many of us do have thoughts about procrastinating and going, I don't want to do this? We all have those thoughts, right? Okay, so Kyle pointed out to me that there's this copper tube that runs all the way from our utility room downstairs to the ice maker and to the reverse osmosis water system, right? And it's got the slowest drip I've ever seen. I mean, the slowest. It'll drop, and before the next drop drops, the other drop will actually evaporate on a paper towel. I don't think I've ever seen a drop that slow, right? So my first thought is the drip's not bad enough. How many of you understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So I got plenty of time to fix that, right? Then I can reframe it by going, yeah, that's exactly what I need, is go to sleep one night and then the drip turns into a squirt. And now there's a lot of stuff that's damaged. See what I mean? Well, it's not that bad of a leak. But if I reframe it in my mind Now all of a sudden there's some urgency behind doing it. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah,
You
Dad.
know, and
What you're saying reminds me of like this thing where it's like and I've used it before, but there's if there's something that you is not that big of a deal, or it's something that you feel like you have to do, or maybe it isn't something you have to do immediately, but you go just reframe it in your brain and instead think, hey, listen, like I'm making things easier for tomorrow, Matt, or next week, Matt. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that is like almost like giving yourself a gift. So it's like, listen, if I fix this leak now, I'm making it easier on, next month, Robert. You know what I mean? Because next month, Robert's gonna hate having to spend days fixing this.
tell him,
So
Matt. Tell him. Yeah, tell him, Matt. Yeah. It's
I don't know the whole story.
no, no, Matt. Thank you so much for sharing with that because you made me think of something else. Is how many of you, once you do something that you know you're supposed to do, how many of you get a little sense of accomplishment? A little bit of pat on the back. It's like, listen, I needed to finish that. And now instead of procrastinating, I just went out and did it. So, it seems like stuff like this constantly comes up. It's never ending. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys today. I love and appreciate you guys so much. Again, on the daily wisdoms, if there's anything that you guys would like me to cover as far as a subject or whatever, you guys are going to really see me start doing stuff that I'm looking forward to doing, just because I know that the product is getting great results for people. You know what I mean? There's absolutely zero way that you can continue to get more and more engagement off your post on your social media without someone asking, where'd you get that? How are you, can I get it? Who do you know? And again, I immediately just love the concept of do you know other people that if they had more engagement on their social media, that would help them build whatever they're building regardless if it was getting more people into a thing like school or if it got more people to buy their merch from skipping rocks or whatever they're doing. So I love and appreciate you guys. Thank you, Shelly, Star, Mary, Scott, Dustin, Melody, Coach Bob, Sarah, Lisa Marie, Matthew, my son, Sandy, Terry, my lovely wife, and of course, Craig, hostess with the mostest. Love and appreciate you guys. Have a great, great, great day. Feel better, Craig.